Well, good morning, guys. It's Pastor Andy. Today's April the 6th, and we're looking together in Psalm chapter 80. Psalm chapter 80 was written at a tough time in Israel's history. It was written by Asaph, one of the worship leaders of the nation of Israel, and it's written talking about when Israel, the northern kingdom of Israel, was taken captive by the Assyrians. They came in and took everyone captive, and it was really a dark time for the nation of Israel. And during this time, Asaph is turning himself back to God. And I want you to think about that as we go through this chapter. Look at verse 1. Please listen, O shepherd of Israel, you who lead Joseph's descendants like a flock. I love that shepherding imagery there. Asaph is saying, God, would you lead us like you did when you led us out of Egypt through the wilderness to the promised land? Would you take care of us? Would you provide for us? Would you lead us because we are sheep and you are our shepherd? Verse 2 goes on and he talks about, the end of verse 1, O God, enthroned above the cherub, display your radiant glory to Ephraim, Benjamin, and Manasseh. Show us your mighty power. Come to rescue us. They knew that God was their only rescue. Then here's the verses that jumped out to me the most. Verse 3, turn us again to yourself, O God. Now that doesn't mean that God is the one who had to turn their hearts. No, they had to turn their hearts back to God. So why is this verbiage used here? Well, this is what it's saying here. Turn us again to you, O God. What it's saying is, would you restore us to our former state of blessing and prosperity in our relationship with you, God? Would you restore our relationship? Would you put it back the way it used to be? Make your face shine down upon us. That was the priestly benediction that was prayed all through the Old Testament. And then he says it again in verse 7. Please turn us again to yourself, O God of heaven's armies. Make your face shine down upon us. Then again in verse 18, then we will never abandon you again. Revive us so we can call on your name once more. Turn us again to yourself, O God of heaven's armies. Make your face shine down upon us. Only then will we be saved. So he repeats this request of, God, would you restore our relationship? Would you put us back to that former state where we were close, where you blessed us, where we had that fellowship? Would you put us back into that position again? And God, would you make your face shine down upon us? Or would you look on us? Would you give us that's the sign of blessing. That's why it was the priestly benediction. God's face will shine down. It's a prayer of blessing from the priest. So they're asking God, would you put us back to that relationship where you were blessing us, where we had that close relationship with you, where you were our shepherd and we were your sheep, where we followed you? I mean, think about where Israel was. They'd just been taken captive. They were a people who were in trouble. And then Asaph remembers, hey, you know what? God can get us out of this. We serve an almighty, all-powerful God. God, would you restore the relationship that we had? You know, so many times in our life we can get busy with other things and we can get wrapped up in life. We can get busy with work and family and jobs and homes and all of this stuff. And we can get separated from God. Not in that we would turn our back on God or that he would send people into our life to put us into like bondage or slavery or anything like that. But we can get cold and calloused in our life. And it's easy for us to begin to depend on ourselves and not on him. And sometimes we have to come to that point and God will bring things into our life to shake us and wake us so that we will pray, God, would you bring us back into that close relationship? Lord, I am turning back to you. Or in verse 18 he says, revive us. You know, I've read a lot of history and I love history and about the great revivals through history and how God did miraculous, amazing things through the lives of people who were willing to turn their life back to God. You know, I don't know that America is ever going to see another great revival. I hope I'm wrong and I hope that does happen. But revival only comes when God's people get to a point like Asaph is at this point, saying, God, it's all you. God, would you please bring us back? And begin to beg God and pray, to really pray, not just about the simple surface level things, but really turn their hearts back to God. I'm convicted myself because I don't pray like that enough. I don't pray that God would do that in my life and in our church and in our city and in our country like I should. All of us should be praying like that. God, would you please restore us to that state of blessing? Would you turn your face to shine on us? Would you revive us so that we can call on your name once more. God, would you let us have that relationship that we once did? I don't think God is done with us, but I do believe that a miracle could happen and that our country could see another national revival. But it's only going to happen, as the other chapter in the Old Testament says, if my people, who are called by my name, will humble themselves and seek my face and pray and will turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, will forgive their sin and heal their land. It's only going to take, what it's going to take is it's going to take God's people turning their attention back to God and getting serious about this thing of prayer and their relationship with Him. I hope you'll get in this chapter and read it for yourself, and that you'll get into God's Word and see what He has for you today. And until tomorrow, God bless you and have a great day.